Hola, 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 and welcome to the Random Talks, where we speak of everything and nothing at the same damn time. I want to start this off with saying, if you can and if you may, please follow the Random Talks on Instagram, or if you want to follow my private page, it'll also be here. Or if you want to follow us on TikTok, it'll also be here. Thank you so much in advance. I'm going to first dive into shit I found on the internet because it is a juicy one today. And this is actually something I found on the internet. Not even like necessarily what I found on the internet. It's just something that I noticed and I want to bring it up because we need to talk about this, guys. Now, what I'm about to say has layers to it, so it's not so black and white. But I follow Nara Smith on Instagram, and she recently had her baby. She posted a picture with her and her baby, and she was speaking about how she spoke about basically having to bend herself backwards to get her body back to how it was before having a baby. Which, if you guys, I think she had like 4 or 5 kids. You know what I mean? That's 1 is a lot. 3 is a motherfucking festival for me. But, you know, I'm with it. I say, you know what? Congratulations. I go to the comments. Can you believe there's people in the comments talking about, ladies, this is not a normal body type. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Then it was some people that were coming for her for posting this and saying, it feels like you're gloating. You know, not all moms can do. I was honestly just astonished in the worst way possible, because for this woman to post about her journey, you guys are claiming that her journey is her boasting because she fits into an ideal that you prefer you fit into, kind of blew me, right? So I was like, okay, that's something weird that I noticed. And then also there's this trend. I don't know if y'all remember the big mama. Let me not do that before I get copywritten. So I don't know if y'all remember that trend. In that trend, there were tall women that were on the slimmer side participating. There were also bigger women that did partake in this trend that found thin, tall women participating did not fit the big mama category, which I was like, what is the discourse for? Y'all are both big as hell in different ways. Why are we fighting? Maybe my take on this will change after I read everything that I read today. My take is 1, we shouldn't be speaking on people's body types at all, period. And then 2, we shouldn't be doing it so openly. And then 3, this is why I made the video on beauty standards, which editing, Kyra, you better put it here for real, girl. I'm not even playing with you. I made a video on beauty standards and the history of beauty standards. Beauty standards will always change. Beauty standards are not normal. So if in this century you're seen as beautiful, you might be ugly as fuck in the next century. Let's first get that, out of the way. We all know what I'm about to say is true, but there's still this like disconnect of people wanting to put themselves on a certain type of pedestal or putting people down to uplift themselves. It don't matter. If you are on either side of the spectrum, you will be talked about, you will be shamed. If you're too skinny, they coming for your little thick ass. If you too big, they coming for your big ass. Let's just first put it out there. And maybe I'm saying it a little bit harsh, okay? Maybe I'm gonna be a bit more gentle when I say this. It doesn't matter. If you don't fit into the ideal of the current century's body type, you will never fit in. That is a hill that I will literally die on. And I know it doesn't matter what the fuck I'm about to read, that viewpoint will most likely not change because it's just, that's the standard that society has made with every single century. If you do not fit into that century's ideal body type, you will be got. You gon' get got. Now that I've said that, the topic at hand that I really want to bring some light to is this word skinny-phobic. I said, what the fuck? What is that? What is it now? Your girl is not a big girl. She's on the thinner side. So I said, skinny bitch come through. What y'all call me? What's up? So there's this discourse of bigger women putting down skinny women to uplift themselves, which again, we're not paying attention to the bigger picture here. Society pinning women against each other once a fucking again. If we keep letting it happen, it'll always happen. That's a conversation for another day that I know a lot of people not gonna be ready to have, but I said what I said. As per usual, if there's anything that I did source, I will link it down below for you to research yourself. This first article is titled "The Real Skinny on Skinny Shaming: How Body Shaming in All Its Forms Hold Feminism Back." I did go on live before recording and I quickly said that modern day feminism is disappearing. This trend of being a girl's girl and so what it's called, it's fake. It doesn't exist. They made it up. It's fake. Because real feminism is having a choice. And I feel like in modern day society, women, a lot of women, and it's really sad to say this, but a lot of women are now not giving women a choice. I'll save that for another video, but I just love how they said, it's holding feminism back. Now hold that thought. I might do a video about it, but just hold that thought. Body positivity and the fight against fat shaming have gained prominence in feminist discourse lately. While this is a positive development, it has an unintended consequence, a rise in skinny shaming. Far from uniting women, skinny shaming fosters division and undermines the principles of inclusivity and empowerment. It's holding feminism back. I'm being so serious when I say I don't read these before I begin, or if I do read it, I'll let you guys know. That sounds very similar to what I just said. I'm being for real. I read this article, which that has a link. So if you want to go and read it, you got to go to their page and description. In it, the author argues that fat shaming and skinny shaming are not the same because thin women have a privilege that fat women don't. Nah, I don't make this page so y'all agree with everything I say. Sometimes I be saying some shit, but they're not the same. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I don't think they're the same, but let's keep reading so we know what this person thinks. There is no argument from me there. That's correct. Okay, period. Oh, girl. I thought I was in enemy territory. I said, oh God, girl. While skinny shaming is cruel and harmful, thin women are not oppressed. And it's important to recognize that. Good. All right. Good. All right. Good. We're great. No, not the oppression is great. Just the fact that we both know that. Y'all know what I was trying to say. Don't try and, you know what? Somebody gonna clip that and be like, she said that fat shaming is great. Fuck you, bitch. I know there's a bitch out there just praying on my downfall. That's why I'm gonna put evil eye at the end of this video, bitch. No. I've never been denied a job because of my weight. I can access healthcare. I can fly with ease. However, the same author also calls complaints about skinny shaming disingenuous whining and fishing for compliments, and says that insults aimed at thin women are not really derogatory and actually a compliment. I kind of want to read this article because there's no way you're publicly that ignorant. Have you no shame? When challenged in the comments, she doubled down and said that in feminism, thin women's voice should not be heard. That's where we have a problem. Because if your feminism doesn't uplift all women, it isn't intersectional. And if your feminism isn't intersectional, it isn't feminism at all. Skinny shaming perpetrates stereotypes that harm all women. Thin women are held up as the ideal version of femininity. On that, we can all agree. So when you say thin women look sick or frail, you associate femininity with negative attributes like weakness and fragility. Oh, this is a lot. First of all, that's all I got, because you gotta pay or be a member to read the rest of the article. And I said, well, I love y'all, but money ain't that good for me to just go and buy it. And also it helps, drive attention to the article itself. So if you want to go and pay and view the rest of the article, you can go and do that. I do have some netizen opinions here from another thread that I found. Girl, I went on Facebook. Off topic, on topic. I've been on Facebook Marketplace a lot. And sometimes I catch myself scrolling a little bit. And then I just so happen to scroll across this and I was like, that's weird. I plan on doing a video about that. So I added it to the list. Don't ask me nothing. I still got Reddit on here, but Facebook, it's netizens. I'm listening to the people. This is not all the people, but it is also the people. I want to comment on the statement, in feminism, thin women's voices should not be heard. Do she need us? Because who the fuck you talking to? How you gonna be a feminist? Well, we only a feminist to big girls though. Girl, you not a fucking feminist. What? So you telling me everybody in your lineage was just a big girl? No, your great grandma was probably thin. What? Her voice shouldn't have been heard because she was thin? Does that even make sense? I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's just the sign of the times. Feminism came so far up, and instead of us keep going up, it's like we're sliding back down. And it's not because of men at this point. Like, man, shut the fuck up. No tea, no shade to the men that's listening. But the people that are bringing us down is ourselves, and it's troubling. The talk of body weight isn't something new. And as beauty standards change, again, one body type might be seen as more flattering than the other. People think that Marilyn Monroe is just the thinnest white girl in the world and she has some meat on her, which, period, she wasn't the biggest lady, but she had meat on her compared to like the Victoria's Secret model that's very thin and seen as the ideal. But I promise you, when people see the ideal Victoria's Secret model out in public, they'd be like, oh, you need a burger. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Oh, she's so thin. Oh, she's sick. But also at the same time, being that thin is seen as more acceptable than being a bigger person. So it's like, hold on, wait a damn minute. This is something, of course, that needs to be addressed, but it's not being addressed in the proper way. I feel like I don't even know what the proper way would be, but I'm just pointing it out that like we're putting ourselves against each other, and I don't understand why there's a disconnect in this way. It's saddening, and then with social media, it's getting even fucking worse. That's why all these women be getting these fucking BBLs to fit this body standard that came up out of nowhere. And now those same women are being shamed for having BBLs while also simultaneously being uplifted for having one. What do we do? At what point can we rest? This person said skinny shaming has the same effect as fat shaming. I'm gonna hold my comment because I already made one earlier. So let's see what people on the interweb have to say about it, specifically Facebook. I'm naturally a very small lady. I genuinely struggle to hold weight of any kind. I have the metabolism where I could eat McDonald's for a week straight and not gain weight. However, I am not healthy. I struggle with fatigue and eating what my body needs to fuel itself. I feel like I can't talk about it because I'm so skinny, that if anyone else compares himself to me, I feel bad because why? I might look ideal, but I definitely don't feel good. I feel like shit half the time, insecure at times, almost embarrassed. Okay, I just read this. I'm gonna just give a quick trigger warning. Okay, I probably should have done that in the beginning of this video. For anyone that is struggling with maybe body dysmorphia or something close to that category, just give you a trigger warning. This person said, I can feel each of my ribs. I monitor the depth of my collarbone dip. There is such a thing as too skinny to be healthy. Please eat when you need to fuel your body the right way and don't withdraw your body from basic needs. We are all beautiful, no matter the shape we are in. Love yourself. If you really can't, see what you can do to change it. But weight isn't a consistent thing if you don't let it be. You have some control over your body, not all control, but some. Do what you can. You got this. Aww. Why did I think Facebook was worse than Instagram? But this is low-key like, this is the first comment. You know, maybe I'm talking too fast. The end of their statement seemed very sweet. So that's why I say that. It's an unfair lens that women are detrimentally affected by. Not saying that men aren't affected by this as well, but society holds women to a certain standard when it comes to beauty, and weight falls under the category of beauty. This person replied, there has never been a bad rep on being skinny or even too skinny. Models would starve themselves and be skin and bone and still told they look good. I'm not saying it doesn't affect the person it's being told to, but it is completely different. Okay, I'm gonna agree with this person saying that it is completely different. Being skinny phobic and being fat phobic, completely different realms. Again, bigger people are oppressed. They get a glance at your ass and already have a mindset that, oh, this bitch is stank. They nasty, they ugly, they lazy. Why the fuck are they fat? They eat too much. And there's already a mindset when society views a bigger person compared to if they see a smaller, thinner person, there's a different mindset than it would be the bigger person, because of course they're two different people. Like, this shouldn't even be, listen, sometimes there's these conversations that come up and I'm like, do we really have to call a spade a spade? Are we in the era where we need to A, B, C, D, like it needs to be slowly read out to you guys for you to understand, like, of course they're going to be two different realms. I don't even think that people should be comparing them. They're not the same. But to say that skinny people don't receive any type of backlash, that's just being ignorant. Because those same models that starve themselves and are called pretty, a large percentage of those women are mentally fucking ill and held under a lens to uphold to an unrealistic standard. Not saying that some women aren't naturally very thin, because there are some women that are just naturally very thin. But there's other women that aren't that thin, but they starve themselves eating 2 eggs and drinking champagne a day to get skinny. Like, and you have the nerves to say they don't go through no problems when they look in the mirror, they still see an ugly bitch too. It don't make no fucking sense. It's starting to piss me off, really. Off topic, on topic. I just had like 5 trains come through, and now there's and okay, bitch. Another person said, there's a systematic difference. When I was overweight, I was treated like the dirt on the bottom of people's shoes. Aw. When I was extremely underweight, where people could see my bones, I was praised. The phrase eat a burger and stop eating have two different contexts as well. One says, I'm worried. I care about you. Please fuel yourself more. You know what? Let's just say that is what eat a burger means. Why you can't just say, hey, how are you doing? Like, I don't even know. Eat a burger. It just sounds so derogatory. I feel like if someone walked up to me and be like, oh, bitch, you need to eat a burger. Oh, eat a burger. I'd be like, the fuck? I'll eat your mom. What the fuck? Oh, that sounds crazy. All right. I'm just gonna. And the other says, literally stop doing one of the main functions that keep you alive because I'm too disgusted to look at you. Even at a normal weight now, I get told I looked better when I was malnourished. Wow. Doctors will refuse to even consider treatments when you're overweight, as well as saying, well, maybe if you just lose weight. I've also known many people who were underweight and very thin their whole life who believe this take, until they started to gain weight and realize what I've been saying. It is never okay to body shame anyone, ever, in any shape. However, there is a vast difference in how skinny people are treated versus overweight. Though you guys don't have to agree with everything I say, I hope that that's one thing we can't agree with, is that you can't compare the two because they're not the same. They're in two different, not only want to say two different categories, because the category is body shaming. The last person from Facebook said, as someone who's always fat and tall shamed, I think it's weird to judge anyone's body type. Verbally speaking on someone's physicality in a negative manner is so wrong to me. I'll never understand it exactly. I just don't see the need. You know what people just mean for no fucking reason? Like, you don't have to go out of your way and be an asshole. You have choices in this life, yes, but why are you making one of them being rude and tearing down other people, especially if you're someone that's insecure? At that point, it's just projection. And we all know it and we see it. It's projection. You're projecting. You hate yourself so much that you have no more hate to give to yourself, so you give it to everybody else, and it don't make no damn sense. A lot of people just need to fucking heal. The last thing I have for netizens is what I found on Reddit, and it says here, tearing down skinny people to uplift fat people is fucking ridiculous. Damn. All right, let's see what they had to say. I want to make it very clear that I am not fat phobic. Okay, starting it off like that. Something that I've seen arise is being socially okay to bully skinny people for being skinny. I know some people are going to be like, since I'm not on the receiving end of fat phobia, I wouldn't know what it's like, and they would be correct. It doesn't make it right to fight fat phobia with the body shaming other people. I'm speaking from experience. I've seen multiple fat content creators dedicate their page to full-blown pages body shaming other people who aren't fat because of the fact that they experience fat phobia. By the way, they are not banned. I am in no way saying fat people have a privilege, because fat privilege does not exist, but they are getting too comfortable tearing down other people to uplift themselves. We need to start checking those creators, just like a skinny creator, if they were to be fat phobic. Someone replied to this saying, I think this is something that most people agree with in principle, but in reality, they don't practice. Tearing a skinny person down to uplift yourself isn't a position. Tearing a skinny person down to uplift yourself isn't a position per se, but it's something that's done in the heat of the moment to make yourself feel better. Kind of like how everyone is body positive until a fat person cuts them off driving. Then all of a sudden they throw out more fat insults than an anti-obesity subreddit. Holy shit. OP replied, true, but there are people who claim to be body positive until it's someone skinny. There's also a lot of people who think that people who are skinny are automatically unhealthy or unrealistic. You see that unrealistic word? Remember that being used in the beginning with Nara? People are tearing this girl down for her body bouncing back, which, keep in mind, she's a young woman. She's a young woman that makes everything from scratch. Man, what are we talking about right now? Her life is a lot more different than the average woman. Let's keep that in mind. But she can't help what her body did. So to tear her down for speaking about her body and her experience and saying she sounds tone deaf kind of blows me, because it's like, why she can't speak on her pregnancy experience simply because it's out of the norm, so-called out of the norm, which there are a lot of women whose body bounced back. My mom's body did the same thing, is what she told me. That's what I found out. But my mom also ended up gaining weight way after she had babies, way after she had children. So it's like, again, my mom was young though, so let's keep that in mind. My mom was young, her body bounced back, because that's just what young bodies usually do. I'm not saying that's a norm, but it happens. So to say it's like abnormal, that just kind of blows me. To say it's unrealistic when obviously someone has a body like this and there are other women that have bodies like this, you then create like this kind of circle where these women feel bad for their body doing a certain thing because other women's body doesn't do it, or a majority of women's body doesn't do it. It's just weird. It just becomes a weird self-hate. You should be grateful. Shut the fuck up. Your experience doesn't matter kind of pool pit thing that, again, it's just women being put against each other. I keep saying it, but it's the truth. People that say it's unrealistic always get to me, and they're always talking about people at a normal weight. Like, people are walking around like this and have for centuries. How is it unrealistic? One person replied, I'm a 5'9", 130 to 140 weight now, 28 male. Okay, we got a man. But I have been the same weight since basically 17. Sorry for what I'm about to say, but it was always the fat girls grabbing my wrist and saying, oh my God, why are you so skinny? Last year, I'm at work with other 10 people. We are all talking, and fat girl comes. It's just something about the way he said fat girl. Now it's like, okay, well, chill on the fat. I don't know. It's just something about the way the amount of times he said it, like chill, bro. And fat girl comes, suddenly grabs my wrist and does the same. Oh my God, why are you so skinny? Stood there real quiet, grabbed her chubby wrist and asked, oh my God, why are you so fat? And before anyone could react, I told her, you shouldn't comment on other people's bodies. Kind of cringed, but solved any third party stepping in because I was rude and taught her a good lesson. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have gone on Reddit. Maybe Reddit wasn't a good option for this topic, actually. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the topic of skinny phobia. Does it exist? Does it not exist? Do you have reasons as to why it doesn't exist? If you think it doesn't, tell me in the comments down below. I really want to know, and I'm really curious about this subject. I'll try and put like another trigger warning in the comment section just so people know that this is a heavy topic. And if you're unable to watch that segment, I totally understand. You take care of your mental health. We're about to get into the other segments, so please come back. But with that being said, let's get into my next segment, Latest Obsessions, where I speak about what I'm obsessed with. The first song I have here is Solid Ground by Michael Kiwanuka. I hope that's how you say it. Kiwanuka. 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 Maybe Kiwanuka, not Kiwanuka. Well, anyway, great song. This song makes me feel like I'm in a movie. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm in a movie and something deep just happened and I'm sitting here, I feel like I'm in a movie and I'm in my house, and this song makes me feel like I'm in a movie, right? And I'm in my house and something like low-key thought-provoking just happened and I'm thinking about my life, and it's like fast-forwarded and I'm cleaning up the house or something, trying to be a better, or when you're in the middle, or when it's the middle of the night and you get that sudden burst of energy and you're like, I want to change my life. You get up, you start cleaning. Imagine that feeling, but you're listening to the song and it's a nice slow song and your cleaning process is sped up. I hope that made sense. That's just what it makes me think of. I'm like, damn, I'm in a movie, man. I sound like the main character. Oh, I'm the main character. Damn, that made me sound like I'm obsessed with being the main character. I'm not, I promise. Well, you know what? Actually, I take it back. Yes, I am. I am the main character of my own movie that is my life. Shit. I'm with me all the time. I'm the damn main character. I take it back. Woo. Next song is Burning by Tems. This reminds me of being in New York and getting off the train and just walking around. I'm not gonna lie, I do be missing New York. But every time I'm there, it's just so fucking dangerous. Like, I look like a target, apparently. That's why I don't live there right now. I know some people like, oh, you do a podcast, so you should live in New York. You don't give me the vibe that you live in Miami. First of all, this is all I know. Let's start there. Second of all, I was thinking about moving to New York. I honestly was. But the fucking 4 times that I went, something always came up. 2 times I went there alone. Literally one of the most dangerous places for a young woman, apparently. And maybe that's not the case for all young women, but it is the case for this young woman, and I hope it not to be true. But this is what this song makes me think of. Last song I have on the list is Why I Love You So Much by Monica. This was my favorite song as a child. I don't know, it was just something about it. It just makes me feel like it's a warm hug. Aw, that was cute. Yeah, it just makes me feel like it's a warm hug. I do love the song. It also reminds me of my mom, because I know my mom used to like listen to Monica religiously. So maybe that's why I love the song. The book I have here is Alchemized by Cindy New, and the description says, Once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered, her abilities suppressed, and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Palladia's new ruling class of corrupt guild families and depraved necromancers, whose vile undead creatures helped bring about their victory, hold Helena captive. To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to the High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in the New World. Trapped on his crumbling estate, Helena's fight to protect her lost history and to preserve the last remaining shreds of her former self is just beginning, for her prison and captor have secrets of their own. Secrets Helena must unearth, whatever the cost. I think I might have spoken about this in a past episode, like, oh, it looks good. Not gonna lie, it took me a little bit to actually grab onto the story. Maybe it's because I was doing my makeup, but also talking to my friend while I was listening to it. So maybe I wasn't like really locked in. But I was like, oh my God, this kind of boring. But then it started getting good. And I was like, you know what? Okay, you're going to stay on the list. Because sometimes I'll start something and I'm like, nah, I can't make it to the list. I can't recommend this. It's going to be, but it's going good so far. I haven't gotten to the part where she's in the prison. I haven't gotten to that part. I just gotten to the part where she's captive and she just woke up and all that stuff happened. I'm not going to tell y'all anything else, but it seems good so far, is all I'm going to say. It seems good so far. I'll let you guys know how it goes in the next episode. For movies, I have here Bugania, and the description says, 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. Now, my girl Emma Stone is in this. I didn't notice how much I love Emma Stone until recently when she was in, I think it's Pretty Things. She was in that movie where it's just... That's one of my favorite movies. I love a movie that's a little wonky. I love a movie where the female main character just happens to be a little wonky. Because I'm a little wonky. And you know what I mean? I kind of relate to some people being a little bit wonky. I loved her in Pretty Things. I think it's Pretty Things. And I feel like she's a really great actress, one. But she does an amazing job at adapting to different roles. I feel like some actors and actresses, they play in these roles that it doesn't really suit them. It doesn't. I'll be honest. That little quirky role, it suits Emma Stone. This one, she's like a CEO and she's all serious. I don't know. It's something about them thick ass eyebrows that makes me feel like she knows what she doing. I recently added to my list as well, Die My Love, which the overview says Grace, a writer and young mother, is slowly slipping into madness. Locked away in an old house in Montana, her increasingly agitated and erratic behavior leaves her companion, Jackson, worried and helpless. Oh wait, hold on. I just thought about it. It's not Pretty Things, it's Poor Things. That's the movie, not Pretty Things. That's so funny that I don't know, it just came up. I don't know if it's because I haven't seen her act in a role like this, but watching the trailer, I am genuinely interested in seeing how she portrays this character. These are both movies I will be going to watch in a movie theater, and y'all know I only go on Tuesdays. So I'm probably gonna watch these back to back on the same day. Let's see, because I don't want to have to go and wait. Let's see, maybe I'll go and watch it on the same day. But let's get into my last segment, Pillow Talk. I love you guys. This is gonna be my last segment, Pillow Talk, where I speak on listener stories and motherfucking confessions, girl. This listener said, hello there. I am a big fan and recently started watching your videos, and I like that they are regarding unique and different situations. Thank you. I appreciate you, being here with me. Thank you for being on a journey, baby. I feel my situation/story is pretty unique and therefore would hope to see what type of feedback you have. I'm a man. Oh, a man. Okay. 32. Okay. Yeah. And I'm in a relationship currently with my girlfriend, woman 31. And it's a 4-year relationship. We are very happy together, and that's why we are now living together. We have talked about our future together and all the different goals we want to meet. Marriage, kids, and so many more things. I am Hispanic descent. Family from Mexico, and she is African American, originally from Atlanta, but moved to the West Coast at an early age. We met years back and kicked it off, and now we're here. Additionally, I have only ever been in 2 relationships in my entire adult life, and both have been with Black women. Oh, so she is definitely my type. Oh, okay. Her, on the other hand, has never dated outside of her race/ethnicity, so she has only ever been with Black men. I am the first man that she has been with outside of what she's used to. Some deeper background, I unfortunately have a micro penis and can't really satisfy her sexually. Why am I whispering? I'll speak up now. Me and her have talked in the past, and she has mentioned that she has a high sex drive, and I have a low sex drive because of my size. Oh, 4 years? How'd y'all do that? Not saying, it's undoable. So then from there, we kind of came to an understanding and agreed on trying out the cuckolding relationship. That's okay. Also, from what she had told me is that she is still very sexually attracted to black men, but in the bedroom. So in our cuckolding relationship, she sleeps with men on the side, black men, for sexual pleasure, but comes back to me for the love part of the relationship. It turned out we both liked it, and so we've been in this type of relationship for about 3 years now. Okay, see, now it's okay. I can say it. That's why it worked out. And everything has been great for the last 3 years, and if anything, it made our relationship stronger. A few months ago, we started talking more and more about starting a family in the future. So in order to make sure we can both have kids, we saw doctors to get checked. Turns out she is fertile, and everything looks good with her. But with me, due to my size, I have a very low sperm count and will have a very hard time having kids. After we talked about all the different options there are in the world, not too long ago something happened. She wasn't feeling too well, so we went to urgent care so she can get checked up. Coming out of urgent care, we found out that she is pregnant. This was, of course, a shock to us as it wasn't something we were very prepared for. But after having so many conversations and confessed so much of our love to each other, we decided that we were going to keep the baby. Also, I told her that I would want to sign the birth certificate and raise the baby as my very own to be legally the father, period, because that's your baby. But what is the dad? Okay, let me keep reading. We also decided to talk to the guy that got her pregnant. Okay, I need to stop talking. All right, I'm gonna just read. To see if he wanted to be a part of the baby's life. We explained to him the entire situation and also the idea of me signing the birth certificate. He was completely okay with it, and he mentioned that he didn't want to be a part of the baby's life. He then did mention something very interesting. He mentioned that he would even be willing to impregnate my girlfriend again if we wanted more kids, a bigger family. The guy said he's already done something similar with other couples in the past, where he's impregnated 2 wives in the past, where those 2 couples also couldn't have kids because of the men's low sperm count. That's an awful coincidence. Coincidentally, there were also interracial couples where the wives were also African American and the husband was either white or Hispanic. And that he's heard of other cuckold couples where other black men have helped them too. Me and my girlfriend love each other, but we are worried of what others are going to think. Why everybody gotta know that? More specifically, family and friends. Considering the baby won't be half Hispanic and half black, of course I don't care. Also within my culture, there's this expectation of the man in the relationship needs to be this manly tough guy. And so no one in my family or friends know about the whole cuckold relationship because I will be looked down on by my friends and family. My girlfriend also said that her family and friends, there's these expectations that the man needs to be dominant and strong. I don't know if it's also a cultural thing though. She feels like the only ones that understand her are her female friends because the men in her family or friend circles would never agree with that type of relationship either. Her girlfriend seemed to be very supportive of the type of relationship and the situation. Have you heard of this situation before or something similar? But I appreciate your platform and allowing me to vent a bit out loud. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you so much for submitting your story and congratulations on your child. Your child. First of all, let's just make sure we're both on the same page. Nobody got to know y'all business. Okay, the baby come out a little darker. They know the mama black. The fuck? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? If they know, oh, your baby extra dark. So? Habla español? Okay. So what? It's the same as if getting a sperm donation to get her pregnant. Like, no one needs to know that y'all went and got a donation to get her pregnant. That's not their business. All they need to know is that you guys are having a beautiful, healthy baby. Period. Point blank. Y'all protect your peace. And if you feel as if the people around you would feel a type of way, which fuck them, so what? That's your family. I don't see the problem in not telling them. I don't see how it would affect or change anything. That's still your child. Those are still your children if you want more. Like, I don't see what the problem would be. I hope for a healthy pregnancy for her. Everything goes smoothly. She feels good. There's no sickness and da-da-da-da. The cravings are great and you're eating food and you're experiencing and you're having fun. I feel like my priority would be protecting my family and protecting our peace. And if that means that people don't need to know that, you guys had a sperm donor, then they don't need to know. This listener said, hi. I'm a 19-year-old trans woman and I just started my first year at university. I have a confession which involves a lot of pee. As a trans woman, going to the washroom is extremely stressful and anxiety inducing. So I try to be as low-key as I can. I also have anxiety, which I think stems from me being autistic. One way I try to be inconspicuous is by aiming my princess wand towards the walls of the toilet as opposed to the water. This makes the pissing sound silent. I do this because I notice cis women have a high pressure piss stream, which sounds different from the low pressure stream that comes from my princess wand. Yesterday after my first class, I went to the washroom because I always gotta piss. I went into the first stall and I started using my silent piss technique. Suddenly, I felt a stream of pee hit my leg. This is when I realized that the toilet had a weird shape which created a kind of gap at the front of it, and the whole time I was pissing, I was aiming out of the toilet and at the back of my pants. What? There was a giant puddle on the floor which was about to leak out to the stall next to me, which had someone in it, so I started to put toilet paper on the floor to soak it up. Then I spent like 20 minutes trying to soak up all of the piss from my pants. This whole ordeal made me miss 2 classes, which I had to leave so that I could catch the bus home, which is such a long bus ride. I remember I put a bunch of toilet paper in the toilet but didn't flush it. It wouldn't flush because there was too much toilet paper. I had to leave because I had an exam later and I couldn't afford to miss the bus. So I left the stall with remaining piss on the floor and a toilet filled with toilet paper. I feel so bad for whoever had to deal with that. I should have flushed it before I let all of that TP bunch up like that, and I should have been quicker so that I could clean the floor better. Of course, I couldn't get rid of all the pee from my pants, although I did use water from the sink to try and rinse them a bit. On the bus, I could slightly smell it, and due to the location of where the piss landed, it was depositing into the seat I was sitting on. There was a girl, I assume, who sat next to me, and I was so embarrassed because they could probably tell that I pissed on myself from the smell coming from me. I was sitting at the window, and the person next to me was sitting in the aisle seat. On the bus, you're supposed to fill the window seat first, then the aisle. So when I left, I assumed the person sitting next to me shifted over to the seat that I deposited my pee into. I felt so guilty. I should have put my bag next to me and blocked the seat, or maybe just stood. I didn't want everyone to see and potentially smell my pants, and I was really stressed, but my actions still probably made people sit on that seat with pee on it. I left a horrible mess for someone to clean up in the washroom. I feel really bad about it. That's all. Love your podcast. Thanks for reading. I feel like I lived that whole experience. You're a really good storyteller. Let's just first start there. You're a great storyteller. I seen myself in there putting toilet paper on the motherfucking floor. But you know what? Rookie mistake. You should have put a little bit in the toilet, flush it, a little bit in the toilet, flush it, a little bit in the toilet, flush it. That's okay. You were right. You shouldn't have put so much at once. That's it. That's my only thing. It's because, someone does have to go back and clean that up. And I know there was like, those people that just go to the restroom and create havoc. Like, I don't know, those people that just be rubbing shit on the walls and pooping on the side of the toilet. Like, I genuinely don't understand that. And it's disgusting. Oh, and I'm just thinking about it. I just got low-key like, shivers. But, yours wasn't that bad. If we're considering those people, yours wasn't that bad. In some women's stalls, people be leaving their tampons out in the open, they pads just, shit. So, it could have been worse, girl. Could have been worse. Hopefully you'll never see those people again on the bus. That's all I gotta say. And if you do, you wear your head up high. Because what are you gonna do? You can't change the past. They don't know there's always 2 sides to a story. They smelled piss. You smelled, I was gonna say victory, but that's not what you smelled at all. I know that's probably not helping the situation right now. Let me stop. You know what? Again, hold your head up high. What you gonna do? You can't change the past. You can't change the past, and that's okay. But that will be all for this episode. If you got this far, please like and subscribe. I know I never say that, but I'm gonna start saying that because people just be watching the video and then leaving. Like, bro, like the video. How about it? Like the video. Please like and subscribe. Take care, brush your hair, wash that motherfucking dairy air, and call your best friend. Call your friends. Call your family. Call your grandma. Call somebody. Call somebody and tell them that you miss them. Yo.
Always get that smell.
What'd you say?
Grandmas, when you walk past them, they always have that mothball perfume smell. Like, where the hell did they all get it from? It's like they all go to the same place.
Oh my God, I love that smell.
Oh
my God, I love...
You're a Latino grandma?
Oh my God, I was recording and I was editing the video and I put you on speaker. I have this on video.
You better keep it in there.
I think I have to keep it in there.